Kurt Busch and Mark Martin.
The UAW-DaimlerChrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By the Home Depot, NASCAR's home improvement warehouse. By Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. And by the flame-broiled Whopper from Burger King, America's favorite burger. At BK, you got it.
While we were away, Shauna Robinson made a pit stop, comes back out, and gets up and into the second turn wall this time. The caution has come out.
Well, Larry, all my strategy. You know what, though, buddy? If I was down there, I would not be very happy. But since I'm up here, I'm pretty happy about this. But we're going to see a real shootout to the finish now.
Johnny Benson could not beat Tony Stewart back to the line and get a lap back.
And watch this. Now, see, he's angry. He's upset with Tony. He run up there and say, hey, man, I'm a Pontiac driver. What's the deal?
But, Darrell, you and I think alike. You don't give nobody a lap back.
If I was the crew chief and my driver slowed down, let a bunch of guys get back on the lead lap, he and I'd be in the truck when the race was over with. That's not racing. You worked hard to put those people in the position you're in. You can't just give all that back to them at one time.
I'm sure pit road will be busy. They got about 25 laps on these tires. Get those 4 tires for that shootout to the end.
And fuel mileage, no longer a factor.
No, now it's kind of like in the other kind of race. We're going to turn the gauge wide open, give you all the fuel you want.
Turn the boost up.
Turn the boost up and let her rip.
Lead lap cars allowed to pit this time. Steve?
The call for Sterling Marlin is no adjustments to that 40 car. 4 tires, put gas in it and go. There will be no adjustments to this 40 car. They have a different gas man. I mentioned Jerry Schweitz. It's actually Bob Hannigan this week and a new jack man, Greg Posse. Let's go to Matt.
And the leader, Tony Stewart, comes in for his stop. They recalculated the mileage. They were going to run out of gas on the pull-down lap. 4 tires. They did make an air pressure adjustment, a ½ pound back in. As the 97 leaves its stall, they put ½ pound back in the left rear to help smoke in the center of the corner.
Ryan Newman gets away. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Spencer out of his pit. It's a land rush down there at the end of the pit lane. We'll update those pit stops and show you how they came off pit road when we come back. 34 laps to go in Las Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Our Dodge summaries: 13 leaders ties the record for this race set 1 year ago. 20 lead changes, 20 cars on the lead lap. 20 is your lucky number. We've just had 5 caution for what's going to be 20 laps.
And we got 1 lap to go till we go back to green. Let's clean them bad boys up. Let's get ready for a shootout.
Those folks that are paired with the 5 no bull drivers, their hearts are rushing because one of them could win $1 million if their driver does.
Well,
pit stop efficiency, Tony Stewart lost 5 spots on pit road this time.
But we're pretty sure, we know, 7.4 seconds for Rusty Wallace. What he did, he took 2 tires. Roll the dice. If you follow the leaders, that's what you'll do. You follow the leaders all the time. But Darrell, the same said, you know, that's a lot of laps on those tires. Those left side tires, about 20-something laps.
You're going to be hearing an earful of ODW if you give me 2 tires with 20-some laps to go, and you want me to try to win the race.
Well, we're set for what could be the final restart, and we have 2 new cats up front, Jeremy Mayfield and Rusty Wallace. Dick?
Well, Kurt Busch lost 4 spots on that pit stop, Mike, but he took 4 tires, and they say that there was nothing wrong. I saw nothing wrong with his pit stop. They say the difference was other people in front of him took just 2.
So Kurt Busch will restart in 8th place.
All I can tell you, folks, is you don't need your seat no more. You might as well stand up because it's getting ready to get real exciting.
Pull on those belts one more time.
Run over there and put that seatbelt around that TV because we're about ready to knock it off the shelf.
Mayfield, Wallace, Marlin, Elliott, Mark Martin, the first 5. Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Spencer. Here we go. 32 laps.
This will be like a Winston shootout here. You got people racing for $1 million.
Johnny Benson in the 10 car trying to get his lap back right there. Didn't get it back a while ago. I don't think the car gets the
got 77, I believe.
Dave
Blaney, he lost it there and got it loose and
kept going.
We stayed green.
I think they'll probably stay green.
It's not the 20-something laps you have on the tires, Darrell. It's those 31 we have to run in these conditions that's going to take a toll.
Yes, sir. You got to get through this traffic, and that's always a problem. Sometimes your car doesn't handle real good in traffic. based on how it handled when it was out front. So a lot of things are going to happen here in a short period of time.
The two cars leading the race last year were the first two drivers out of the race.
And right now, Jeremy Mayfield saying, hey, man, give me a break. Give me the line. Let me go down in that corner.
Here's Jarrett in 13th. Well, gets a little three wide busy there.
Three wide's okay when you can give a guy a break, but you can't give a guy anything right now. You got to take.
Finally, Benson clears Mayfield.
Kurt Busch, 97, looks like he has a problem right here. Slowed down a bunch.
And Schrader.
Schrader's just caught in the middle. He's just backpedaling. He says, man, let me out of here.
Oh, Busch is off the pace.
Meanwhile, up front, Johnny Benson just refusing to give up. I want my lap back, Jeremy Mayfield.
And boy, Jeremy has got to be just about ready to jump out of the seat. Now he's all right.
This is when the crew chief for Jeremy Mayfield runs the crew chief for Johnny Benson and say, if you'll leave me alone, I'll give you your lap back.
Oh, yeah. We can work a deal.
Yeah. Too wide back here. Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace tries to chase down the leader. He is 6/10 of a second.
I'll tell you, Tony Stewart is backpedaling, guys. The guy that's going forward is Sterling Marlin. Tony Stewart's backpedaling.
Still at the bottom of the racetrack right there beside.
Well, the problem with that, Larry, everybody can run the bottom right now. So he can't get down there and make those passes because that's where everybody is.
Because of the four fresh tires.
Four tires are getting them run where they want to.
Dick, what's wrong with Kurt Busch?
Well, it's most likely an engine problem. Sean Parker has just hooked up the unit that puts water into the radiator, but we really have not heard much from Kurt Busch, at least that I can put on the air right now.
The hometown hero back to 12th.
You're not going to come in and put water in that thing now. You're going to run it till she just boils over because it's too late for that.
Well, you're third in the point standings, Darrell.
You can't come down pit road now, though.
Okay.
Let her blow up.
Got to nurse it.
That's right.
Have to nurse it.
You don't even look at the gauges now. I don't even know how you knew it was hot. That's why I never understood about gauges. They put a whole dash full of gauges up there. I said, why would we do that? We're going to run it. We'll blow up anyway.
I never figured out how come we put them in there anyhow either, because you never would tell me what they said.
Now you don't look at them. Boy, Jeremy is checking out, guys, and Sterling's going to have to go like crazy to catch him.
And you know, the one thing Jeremy has going for him, I know he only has those two tires, but what he has going for him, he's out there in that clean air. He's got that downforce on that front end making that car turn. He had a good car, but it's even better out front right now, even with just the two tires.
Now, you heard the radio chatter. Benson's and Sterling's spotter made a deal. Benson no longer in touch with the leader. He said, tell Sterling we'll let him go.
I think Benson was still a little steamed from not getting that lap back when Tony Stewart didn't slow down. And so now he's kind of settled down and he realizes he doesn't have a chance to get it back. Let these guys race.
That Fox track shows the interval very steady. Jeremy Mayfield on point now by 1.1 seconds.
Sterling just slowly in the 40 car, just slowly reeling them in.
And I think Tony Stewart's history, guys. I don't think he's got something's wrong. He just isn't going forward.
Dodge, Dodge, Ford, Ford, Ford. Steve?
Larry, you talked about the patience that Sterling Marlin is using. He knows that the 19 only took two tires. He also knows that Rusty Wallace took two tires. He was very confident before the restart. He told his crew, I'm better than any of those guys. I'm going to take my time, but I'm going to get them.
Well, there's a guy in third place, too, that is lurking right there. Mark Martin. I wouldn't count him out. He's just now getting around Benson. He's coming up on the back straightaway, and he's coming forward.
2.2 seconds off the lead. You see in the upper right.
How much is he's behind him right there?
And he was held up a little bit by the 10 car. Now that he's clear of him, wouldn't count that young man out either.
Jeannie?
Guys, Mark Martin clogging up his radio, asking repeatedly of his crew chief, Ben Leslie, how many more laps do we have to go? I guess you can be that comfortable in Las Vegas when you have the kind of track record here he does. Of course, winning the inaugural race, he averages a 5th place finish here. This is just a Sunday drive for him. He's moving up track position.
Well, this track is not real tiring, and it's real smooth, and so you can actually talk on your radio, and it's very audible, unlike some of the rougher racetracks we run on.
Jeremy Mayfield finished in the top 5 here the first year Winston Cup came to Las Vegas. Looking for the win today.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Well, he grew up near the boss, Bruce Springsteen, but Ray Evernham, who owns that number 19 car, is hoping Jeremy Mayfield would put him on cloud 9. Instead, here comes Marlin against his driver for the lead.
I just want the jacket for next week at Atlanta.
Everybody's trying to get my gig. That really bothers me.
Right now, Sterling Marlin just
bad
took
enough
Jeremy
drivers.
Mayfield's
Cheap.
gig.
Yeah.
How far is it to Jupiter from here? Right now, it's about half a second.
I tell you, though, to run the kind of race, I mean, where'd the 19 car come from? I know he's been up there in the top, you know. Oh, trouble down here, trouble. Oh!
Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. Slide for life.
Holy cow. Buddy, that thing was gone out of here.
He did everything but wreck.
We stay green.
What a shame. Was running so good.
15 laps to go.
He was up to 6th position.
You're okay, bud. Great job, man.
No kidding. That was a great job, all right. Now, Ray could be saying he left his heart in San Francisco on that one. Watch this.
Darrell, that was a victim of the 12 car being on the outside of him. It just pulls the car around.
Pulled him around. Oh, we got trouble here now. What's wrong?
Todd Bodine way down on the flat.
Something happened to his car, or did he just try to get out of the way? It's almost like somebody was hollering at him to, you know, these guys are racing, get out of the way. Pretty abrupt getting out of the way, I might add.
Well, our pole sitter, Todd Bodine, 3 laps down. Maybe, as you say, Darrell, just trying to stay out of the way.
I think he was then.
Of them coming 3 wide against him. Now, Tony Stewart has been backing up a bit. He's right now holding 6th place. Matt?
Oh, trouble dog. Kyle Petty goes around.
He and Jerry Nadeau.
He hadn't hit anything yet. The caution is out.
Look at this. Kyle has not hit anything yet.
And keeps on going.
Trust me, nobody at the front of this field, not Sterling Marlin, not Jeremy Mayfield, not Mark Martin, wanted to see this caution.
No one has a chance to get a lap back as Marlin was almost on top of the caution flag as it waved.
What a Jimmy Johnson did a great job. Watch this. I think Kyle gets I think he gets a little nerve here. I'm not sure.
I think he got a pretty good size. Well, he actually got loose right there coming off turn 4.
Well, what happened? He got loose. Probably had to get up out of the throttle, and I'd have to say that
I said Jerry Nadeau. Actually, what we saw from the in-car camera on Robbie Gordon was Nadeau getting into Gordon.
Yeah.
As Gordon got into Kyle.
Kyle comes off. He starts to get a little bit loose. He's got to lift up out of the throttle a little bit. Listen.
Hit in the back by Nadeau.
Robbie doing his own play-by-play there.
Oh, there's what happened. Nadeau pushed Robbie Gordon into the back of Kyle.
After Kyle was already a little bit loose.
Looked like Kyle got a little bit loose.
Of course, Nadeau couldn't know that. He couldn't see through Gordon's car at what Kyle was doing.
All of our leaders stay out. Now, I'm sure some of the guys on the lead lap at the back of the field will come in.
Jeff Burton,
they have nothing to lose.
Yes,
Jeff
there he
Burton.
goes. And Jarrett.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bobby Labonte, Matt Kenseth.
Nadeau, Bobby Labonte.